We are coast to coast. We are border to border on iHeartRadio today. Also 50 plus AM/FM stations across the country and around the world. And we have a great guest joining us today via the magic of the old Skype. Yes, the Skyper, Rooney. We have a great guest with us today. Winston, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
So, Winston, tell us a little bit on your latest project.
My latest project, I have a book that released today called Making Money God's Way.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about why you decided to write this book, Making Money God's Way.
I decided to write this book to help business owners increase their finances from a kingdom perspective. My whole goal for writing this book is to help reduce setbacks, to teach other business influencers, any business and entrepreneurs, how to make money God's way as it relates to having integrity, as it relates to managing money, what God says about paying our bills, and make sure that our credit is in the place that it needs to be so that we can have the right resources that we need so we can operate our business. My book talks about even the importance of not having a well balance as a business owner. Sometimes when you're a business owner, you work so much and to the point where you put things on hold, like your children and your family and different things like that. And so my book even have a topic in there that talks about money can't raise kids. And so it has so much in there that can be very, very beneficial, not only for business owners, but for individuals.
Fantastic. We have got Winston Greer with us today, Making Money God's Way, and he joins us this week here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy. The BGE Radio Network out of Atlanta, GA. You can get more information, buildgrowandenjoy.com. Winston Greer with us, Making Money God's Way. So tell me a little bit about your writing process and bringing Making Money God's Way to life, my friend.
The writing process was about 14 months long. It was very, very exciting. I held myself accountable every week. My writing process talks about my experience as a business owner. It talks about all of my experiences as it relates to my business decisions, where I've had success and failure. And Making Money God's Way is just a step-by-step guide of how to be successful as a business owner, how to be successful in life, and increase your finances and increase your faith. And so Making Money God's Way is just awesome read to just be able to just get yourself equipped to be who God has called you to be.
We have got a great guest with us today. Winston Greer is with us. He joins us this week here on BGE. Making Money God's Way is the latest from him. So what has been some feedback that you've gotten on the book so far, whether you've given advanced copies to folks or blogs or what have you? What has been the feedback been, Winston?
One of the gentlemen that have read the book, one of the chapters that was his favorite, and he endorsed the book. He said the chapter on integrity, it talks so much about how to treat your employees. It talks about how to be an honest business owner to your customers. And he said that chapter is something that would be great to all business owners. It's just so impact with so many things. I share a story in that chapter where I run a tire center and I sell tires, and a gentleman come to me one time and he was selling some tires to me, and he had a great price on those tires. I wasn't a pastor at the time, but I was a believer and a Christian. And the Lord said to me, "Oh, you gonna buy those tires?" But it was a deeply discounted price, and I'm like, "Of course, this is a great price for these tires. I'm gonna be very, very successful after I sell these price at market value." I purchased those tires, and my business went in a standstill for about 6 months, and my bills started to accumulate because my phone calls dropped, my tire sales dropped, and it was all because I had purchased those stolen tires. And the Lord began to show me how I'm not going to bless you by doing things dishonest. The Bible said a little that a righteous man have is better than the wicked of the riches. And so I had to sell those tires for less than what I paid for them just so I could pay my bills that was coming past due. And so when you do things dishonestly and you don't have integrity, you may think it's a win for you, but the good Lord is watching you. And so that chapter is a chapter where he said that was just so impactful. He said it was just so encouraging, talking about that chapter on making money God's way as it relates to integrity.
We have got Winston Greer with us today. Making Money God's Way is the latest from him, and he joins us today here on our big program. So what exactly do you want folks to get out of this book?
The whole purpose of this book is to increase kingdom influence. It's to increase our faith, increase our finances as business owners, so that we can be able to have some influence in the world and have a community that live by kingdom principles. Our world is full of so much demonic things, and it's the whole purpose is just so that, hey, we can be a people that do things God's way. And that's the whole purpose of me writing the book.
It is Winston Greer. He's with us today here on our big program. You're joining us this week here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy, the BGE radio network out of Atlanta, GA, buildgrowandenjoy.com. So where do you see this book going? What are some of your hopes and dreams for this book?
My hope for this book is that it would be a brand all over the world, that it would build other business owners will start to represent the logo of making money God's way, so that when people see that logo at their business, they say, hey, I'm dealing with the honest business owner. I'm dealing with someone with integrity because of what my book and my brand represent. And so I'm hoping that other corporations, whether it's small or big corporations, get on board to the Making Money God Way principles. And when people see Making Money God Way at that location, at their business, in that window, they'll say, oh, I don't mind doing business with this company because I know that they're going to treat me fairly. I know that they're a company that have a place of integrity and they're honest and they're going to treat me right and not going to manipulate me. And so that's my hopes and dream for that book.
So when you were putting this book together, did you use an outline? Did you use notes? How did that all work for you?
I actually used my tablet for a Word doc, and I went in it and I self-published my book, but I hired an editor to be able to correct me on my English so that it can go out and people can really, really understand it. And so I wrote that book on Word doc, and I really enjoyed it. I went to Starbucks probably 5 days a week writing my book for about 14 months, about an hour and a half every day. And today I went and took a picture at Starbucks of the finished products, and because I was just so excited of the opportunity to be able to go to Starbucks in a quiet place and just write and be on my tablet. And so I wrote it right there at Starbucks on my tablet and Word document.
We have got a great guest with us today. Tell us a little bit about your writing style.
My writing style is, I talk about things from a business perspective. When you read my book, you're going to see things from a business perspective from me as a business owner, and I'm going to tie in kingdom biblical scriptures and what God says as it relates to certain things. For an example, when I first started my business, and I didn't do any planning, didn't do any marketing strategies. I didn't do anything right. And I talk about how negligent this is from a business perspective. And I also talk about how God feels about not planning as it relates from a biblical perspective. So I tie all of my topics and all of my lessons in each chapter from a business point of view and a kingdom and a biblical point of view.
It is Winston Greer, Making Money God's Way, and he joins us today here on our broadcast. How do people buy this book?
You can purchase this book on Amazon, or you can purchase it on Barnes & Noble. You also can go to my website, www.makingmoneygodsway.com. www.makingmoneygodsway.com. Once again, that's www.makingmoneygodsway.com.
Making Money God's Way. It is a tremendous guest of this today. He joins us live here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy. Winston Greer is with us. So, is this your first book?
This is my first book. This is my very first book. I started writing this book about 5 years ago, and I moved and purchased a home. And when I moved, for some reason, I couldn't find a tablet that I was writing it in. And I was dreading the fact of having to start over, and the Lord was just pulling on me to write this book about 2 years ago. And I finally decided 14 months ago to go ahead and start over and start writing the book and everything. And it's been an exciting journey. I was able to put everything in it that I wanted to put in it so that they can be a blessing and encourage and enhance someone else's life.
It is Winston Greer, Making Money God's Way, and he's with us today here on our big program. So give us the typical profile, the reader who's going to love this book.
This book is going to be good for a person of faith. It's going to be good for an existing business owner or somebody who wants to start their own business. It's some great chapters in there that are good for just a working person, whether it's male or female. It's just good. It's a good book that for somebody who want to learn how to advance in life, financially, advance in their faith, advance as a person, and advance as a business owner. This book will be good for those people.
We have got Winston Greer with us, Making Money God's Way, and he joins us today here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy. So what inspired you to put this book together?
What inspired me to put this book together is when I started my business, I didn't have a business coach and a business mentor. And so I feel that me putting this book together will really, really be beneficial to somebody who wants to start a business or somebody that have an existing business and they made a lot of horrible mistakes and don't know how to get out of it. And this book, and I felt like I needed to put something together to be able to help people that can't pay for a business coach or a business consultant or a business mentor, but can afford a book for $3.99 on an ebook version or pay for a paperback version for $20. And so I put this book together so that it could be able to help somebody else and be a blessing to them.
It is a great guest. Winston Greer is with us here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy. Making Money God's Way is the latest from him, and he joins us today here via the magic of Skype. So, what makes your book different from others like it out there in the marketplace?
My book doesn't just come from an education perspective by itself. It comes from experience, it comes from education, and it comes from biblical wisdom from God. And so tying all of those three things together will really, really give a person insight and enlighten them when they read all of those different perspectives. Even my editor said, man, this is going to help me out with my business. I haven't even looked at it that way. And so I think that my perspective is going to be very, very great because it looks at it from an educational point of view, from experience, a business owner for 17 years, from my experience as a business owner. And it also look at it from a point of view, from a pastor point of view, from biblical principles.
We have got Winston Greer, Making Money God's Way, and he joins us today here on Build, Grow, and Enjoy. The BGE Radio Network out of Atlanta, GA, that's buildgrowandenjoy.com. So name one entity that you feel supported you outside of family members with this book.
I've had a lot of experience from transportation logistics companies. Truck drivers have been a blessing to me supporting this book, and faith-based organizations have been a blessing as well.
We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on BGE. That is Winston Greer, Making Money God's Way. If you had to do it all over again, would you change anything in the latest book?
I wouldn't change anything. Everything was ordained by God, and I wouldn't change anything for nothing in the world.
It is Winston Greer. He joins us here on our big broadcast. Now that you've got this one book done, do you see writing as a career?
I do see writing as a career.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we've run out of time here, my friend, but I appreciate you making time for us today. Before we let you go, what's next for you as an author?
I'm going to be doing more business coaching, business consulting, and continue to do my motivational speaking.
Fantastic. Well, Winston, thanks for making some time for us. Thanks for coming on BGE, and really appreciate the time. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much.
Have yourself a wonderful day. There he goes.
God bless.
That is Winston Greer, and he has a tremendous new book. It is called Making Money